if I was to ask you what your favorite food was, everyone would probably have a different answer. If I was to ask you what time of day you eat, again, you would probably have different answers. If I was to even ask you how often you eat, again, you'd probably have different answers. All of us have some type of relationship with food, but what if I told you that people's negative relationship with food is considered an eating disorder? Today, I want to inform you that there are various types of eating disorders, that eating disorders are actually mental illnesses, and that eating disorders account for a high percentage of suicide attempts. There are three main types of eating disorders: anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating disorder. There are additional eating disorders such as rumination and pica. The National Institute of Mental Health says that the reason for these disorders is unknown, but it could be a combination of genetic, biological, psychological, and social situations. Anorexia is when you have a low body weight, and it's the perception of someone's body image leads to them limiting their intake of food, or they will take laxatives, diet pills, or have excessive exercise to moderate their weight. While bulimia is not characterized by the low body weight, but because they feel shame from like purging or the amount of intake of food, they'll still have those same situations where they'll take the laxatives or diet pills and excessive exercise. While binge eating disorder differs because there is no limitation on the intake. They just continuously eat even if there is no hunger involved, but because they feel shameful from that intake, they continue to binge, and from that shame, it becomes a private situation where they just binge in private. The National Association of Anorexia Nervosa and Associated Disorders says that the eating disorders are the second highest disorders that are related to suicide, second to opioid overdose. With mental health spotlighted more and more in today's culture, it's important that we know how it affects people's lives and that it claims people's lives. There are 10,200 deaths directly related to eating disorders, and 26% of people attempt suicide who are affected by these illnesses. PubMed.gov did a study, and of 156 people who were hospitalized after a suicide attempt, 107 of those people had tried to attempt suicide on multiple occasions. Of those people who have tried to attempt suicide from eating disorders, the risk of just death, period, of those people from other causes is 12.8%, but 45% of those people will die from suicide. Today I have informed you that there are various types of eating disorders, that eating disorders are mental illnesses, and that eating disorders account for a high percentage of suicides. The ANAD says that 47% of first grade through third grade children believe that they need to be thinner. 81% of 10-year-olds are afraid of being fat. 35 to 57% of adolescents show some kind of sign of an eating disorder through the taking of laxatives, through dieting pills, and excessive exercise. So of the 9%, or 28.8 million Americans that will be diagnosed or affected by a diagnosis of an eating disorder, it is important that we are diligent in seeing these signs and help others through that diligence to be able to help them get the help that they need, essentially. And if someone you know or yourself is dealing with the eating disorder, you can contact the National Eating Disorder Hotline at 1-800